She was the highest-paid actress in the world, the face of strength. But behind the million-dollar smile was a girl sold by her mother. Demi Moore's life isn't a fairy tale. It's a survival horror story. From the trailer parks of New Mexico to the flashing lights of Hollywood, she fought demons that would have killed anyone else. This is the story of a woman who had to shatter into 1,000 pieces before she could finally become whole. She is a warrior. Her story begins in the dust of New Mexico, born into poverty and chaos. Her biological father abandoned her before she even took her first breath. She was raised by Danny Gines, a stepfather whose nomadic lifestyle meant constant moving. They were drifters, running from debts and demons. Home wasn't a place, it was a concept she never understood. Surrounded by heavy alcoholism, she learned early that adults were dangerous and stability was a lie. Physical pain marked her early years. Cross-eyed and suffering from kidney dysfunction, hospitals became her second home. But the scars on her soul were deeper. She became the parent to her own parents, using her small hands to dig pills out of her mother's throat during suicide attempts. She was dragged to bars by her mother, not to be loved but to be noticed. Do this so they like you, she was told. She was a prop in her mother's tragic play. Then came the moment that killed her childhood. At 15, she walked into her apartment to find an older man waiting. It wasn't a mistake. Her mother had sold her for $500. The rape was horrific, but the sentence her mother spoke afterward was worse. It was your fault. That betrayal shattered her trust in humanity. She carried the weight of that sin, believing she was worthless, a commodity to be traded. She was broken, but she was still alive. Survival meant escape. She dropped out of school, leaving the trauma behind for the lights of Los Angeles. Modeling led to questionable choices, including nude photos for Ouija magazine, desperate attempts to be seen. She married Freddie Moore young, taking the surname that would become famous. She landed a role on General Hospital, tasting fame for the first time. But the shadows followed her. To numb the pain of her past, she turned to cocaine. She became part of the Brat Pack, Hollywood's wild youth. But her addiction was spiraling. She showed up high to the St. Elmo's fire set, and director Joel Schumacher gave her an ultimatum: rehab, or you're fired. It was a turning point. She chose life. Sober and determined, she broke her engagement to Emilio Estevez and swore an oath of sobriety. She was clean, focused, and ready to conquer the world that had once tried to destroy her. Then, lightning struck. She met Bruce Willis, and their romance was a whirlwind that led to a surprise wedding in Las Vegas. They became Hollywood's golden couple. Professionally, she exploded. Ghost made her an icon. That pottery scene became legendary. She revolutionized beauty with her short hair, proving femininity wasn't about long locks. When she posed naked and pregnant for Vanity Fair, she didn't just break a taboo, she started a revolution. She was unstoppable. She demanded, and got, $12.5 million for striptease, becoming the highest-paid actress in history. She fought for equal pay in a male-dominated industry, taking on roles in Indecent Proposal and Disclosure that challenged gender dynamics, but the backlash was brutal. Critics attacked striptease, claiming she was just showing her body. They ignored her power, focusing only on her skin. The pedestal was shaking. To prove them wrong, she went to war. For G.I. Jane, she shaved her head on camera, stripping away her vanity. She transformed her body, doing one-armed push-ups and training like a Navy SEAL. It was a physical manifestation of her internal strength. But the box office didn't care. The failures piled up, and Hollywood, fickle as ever, turned its back. The golden couple era ended too. Her marriage to Bruce Willis collapsed, leaving her alone again. After her mother's death, she fled the toxicity of LA, raising her daughters in Idaho. But loneliness followed. Then she met Ashton Kutcher, 15 years her junior. The media was cruel, branding her a cougar, mocking her age. They claimed she had plastic surgery to keep him, dissecting her body in tabloids. She desperately wanted to give him a child, enduring painful IVF treatments. She was chasing youth, trying to freeze time for love. Hope turned to tragedy. At 6 months pregnant, she lost her baby girl, Chaplain Ray. The grief was a black hole. Blaming herself, depression swallowed her whole. After 20 years of sobriety, she picked up a drink. It was a slow suicide. To save her marriage, she agreed to threesomes, compromising her soul to keep a man who was already slipping away. Then came the anniversary betrayal. Ashton had cheated. The humiliation was public and total. The divorce broke her pride, but the nitrous oxide broke her brain. At a party in 2012, she inhaled the gas and seized. It was a scene from a horror movie happening right in front of her daughter Rumor. The 911 call leaked, broadcasting her rock bottom to the world. She was 45 pounds underweight, hallucinating and dying. Her daughters, unable to watch her self-destruct, cut her off. She was ostracized by the very people she lived for. Alone in the hospital, stripped of her dignity, she faced the ultimate truth. She didn't believe she was worthy of love. The abandonment of her father, the betrayal of her mother, and the cheating of her husbands all fed one lie: that she was unlovable. Rehabilitation wasn't just about drugs. It was about rewiring her soul. She had to learn to mother herself, to forgive the girl who was sold for $500. It was a long, dark climb. Recovery began with truth. She repaired the bridge with her daughters, slowly rebuilding trust. Then she picked up a pen. Her memoir, Inside Out, was a bombshell. She told the world about the rape, the sale, the addiction, and the miscarriages. She stopped hiding. By exposing her mother's crimes, she freed herself from the shame. It wasn't a scandalous tell-all. It was a reclamation of her narrative. She took her power back. Today, the picture is different. She stood by Bruce Willis as he faced dementia, proving that love evolves. They created a modern family, blending old exes and new wives into a unit of support. During the pandemic, they quarantined together, laughing in the face of the past. She accepted her age, embracing the lines on her face as maps of her survival. She found peace in being a grandmother, a role that required nothing but pure love. Her role in The Substance was a mirror. Playing a woman discarded by Hollywood for aging, she confronted her own deepest insecurities on screen. It was a raw, visceral performance that proved she was never just a pretty face. She was an artist willing to bleed for her craft. She stopped trying to be the perfect woman Ashton wanted or the star Hollywood demanded. She was finally content with just being Demi. She challenged the world's perception of aging women. No longer the cougar or the victim, she became a symbol of timeless elegance. She walked runways and graced covers, not trying to look 20, but looking powerful at 60. She proved that a woman's value doesn't expire. Her journey from the cross-eyed girl in the trailer park to the matriarch of Hollywood is a testament to resilience. She didn't just survive, she evolved. Demi Moore is the ultimate cycle breaker. She stopped the generational trauma of her mother from reaching her daughters. She endured the abuse so they wouldn't have to. The pain stops with her. She faced the darkness of addiction and the cruelty of the media, and she emerged with her softness intact. She didn't let the bitterness of her past poison her future. That is her true legacy, far greater than any movie role. Looking back, the scars are visible, but they are no longer bleeding. The baby she lost, the husbands who left, the mother who sold her, they are all chapters, not the whole story. She learned that she is not defined by who left her, but by who stayed. And the person who stayed through the overdose and the heartbreak was herself. She is the hero she was waiting for as a child. She saved herself. Demi Moore's life is a reminder that you can be broken and still be beautiful. She walked through fire, from the G.I. Jane training to the fires of public humiliation, and refused to burn. She is a warrior who wears her wounds like armor. The girl from New Mexico who was sold for $500 is now priceless. She is no longer the victim of her tragedy. She is the author of her triumph. She is simply a survivor.